Summary of the previous part. After killing Death, Lucifer begins his plan. Death goes to meet God, who instructs the archangels Michael and Gabriel to go capture Lucifer. After betraying heaven, Lucifer descends to hell to break the seals of the three primal demons. He seeks to build a powerful army to attack heaven. With his vast knowledge, he knows that capturing the prime stone will free the three demons. He flies straight down to the center of hell, where souls are being torn apart and scream in agony, with flowing lava surrounding the area. In front of him stands a massive stone gate. He raises his right hand and stares directly at it. His eyes glow red as his hand transforms into that of a demon, complete with 5 sharp, sinister claws. With a gentle twist of his hand, the gate cracks and bursts open. Upon entering, he confronts a colossal beast, a 12-headed dragon, the pet of the jailer of hell. This creature is Abaddon, a butcher who has lived for over 10,000 years in this infernal realm. Born from the blood of the Lord of Terror, he possesses immense power, managing other demons and torturing souls, while punishing those attempting to escape hell, a futile endeavor. Lucifer approaches the beast calmly, a smile on his face, his eyes filled with hatred and death. The monster attacks, all 12 heads unleashing flames at Lucifer, engulfing him completely. After a moment of burning, Lucifer remains unscathed, not even a scratch. The dragon then releases a fireball toward him, but he simply blocks it with his hand and throws it back at the dragon. Taking the full impact of its own fireball, the dragon reels back, and with a clenched fist, Lucifer crushes its heart. Suddenly, he pauses and steps closer, asking, "Where is your master?" Just as he finishes speaking, footsteps approach, becoming more distinct, accompanied by applause. It is Abaddon, the ruler of hell. Standing before Lucifer now was Abaddon, the Crimson Butcher, his body grotesquely covered in thorns. In his hand, he wielded a massive mace. Approaching Lucifer, he sneered, "Ha ha ha. Lucifer, leader of the angels, what are you doing here? You were the one who slew Conquest, and now all of heaven is hunting you down." Lucifer replied, "I am no longer the leader of the celestial army. I despise them. Do they seek to hunt me? I will put an end to his reign over the universe. I will usher in a new era, a new empire, a new world, one where only the strong shall survive. A realm where hatred and fear reign supreme, and where the ideals of justice, fairness, and light shall never exist." Abaddon could see that Lucifer was no longer an angel. His divine radiance had vanished. The once pure white, 6-winged figure now bore wings stained crimson, scorched and tattered, the wings of a demon. Indeed, Lucifer was no longer an angel. He had been utterly transformed into a true demon. He had become a fallen angel, bowing before the power of darkness. Abaddon began to feel a sense of unease toward Lucifer. He asked, "What do you want, Lucifer?" Lucifer looked at Abaddon and laughed, "Ha ha ha. I want you to do something for me. Gather all the demons, the most savage and powerful monsters, here at the very heart of hell. I am building an army strong enough to attack heaven." Abaddon was stunned. He stammered, "Why you want me to help you attack heaven? That is madness. It's impossible. We demons cannot step foot in heaven, we would be incinerated by its holy light. And to stand against the angels, that is certain doom. We will fall before them. Lucifer's expression darkened. Do not concern yourself with those wretched celestial insects. I was once an angel myself. You are right, we will not march directly into heaven. My true plan is to lure heaven's entire army out. And once heaven is left unguarded, that is when I will strike. To erase heaven from existence, we will need a force far greater than your demons alone. I will break the seals and free the 3 demon lords who have been imprisoned by him for countless eons. Abaddon's blood ran cold. He was a demon, born from the very essence of one of those ancient lords. He hesitated before asking, "Free the lords." But, how? Neither I nor any demon in hell knows where they are imprisoned. That war, it was waged so long ago. Lucifer smirked. You need not worry about that. I am the keeper of the prime stone, the very seal that binds them. I was there during that war. The great war, where good and evil clashed before Adam and Eve were ever created. That tale shall be told another time. At last, Abaddon agreed to serve Lucifer. With a single stomp, the ground trembled, and from every corner of hell, demons and monstrous entities emerged, colossal beasts, spectral wraiths, and legions of hellspawn. Thousands, millions, all gathered at the heart of the abyss. They knelt before Abaddon. Raising his voice, he declared, I have summoned you all for a single reason, we shall march upon heaven itself. A deafening roar erupted from the horde. They reveled in the thought of obliterating heaven. Abaddon then raised his arm, and silence fell. This is Lucifer, our newest brother in arms. He will lead us to victory. The infernal legions howled in unison, welcoming their new leader. Lucifer surveyed his army. Though vast, he knew it was still insufficient to defeat the celestial hosts. He turned to Abaddon and said, We must go to purgatory. Abaddon's eyes widened. Purgatory? That place is horrifying. The demons there are more terrifying than anything in hell. It is said that before creating angels and mankind, God forged purgatory first. No angel nor demon has ever dared set foot there. And yet, you would. Lucifer grinned. Even a butcher like you fears that place. You are right. Purgatory is beyond the reach of both angels and demons. Not even my dear brother, Michael, the so-called strongest of his angels, dares to enter. And so, the forces of hell stood ready for war against heaven. Everything had been set in motion. Lucifer had gathered all of hell's armies, prepared to break the seals of the ancient lords, and now, he would venture into purgatory, a realm that was neither heaven nor hell. But Lucifer had made a grave mistake. There were things in purgatory beyond his understanding, things far more dangerous than freeing the 3 demon lords. Buried deep within that forsaken realm were horrors unknown to all, except for 2 beings. The gates of hell had been fully opened. God had seen it unfold, and he knew of even greater horrors yet to come. Though he had the power to extinguish hell's assault in an instant, he would not. He had sworn never to interfere in the affairs of any being he had created, not even the angels. The archangels had been alerted. War was imminent. Thousands of angels gathered, forging their weapons and armor. Their gleaming silver-white blades and platinum-plated armor radiated celestial light. Each angel bore either 1 or 3 pairs of pure white wings, signifying their rank. Michael had been summoned back to heaven with great urgency. The gates of heaven swung open, and the celestial legions mobilized. The heavenly army, over 1,000,000 strong, was divided into 5 grand divisions, each led by an archangel. The front line wielded spears, followed by sword-bearers, and finally, the archers, whose divine bows and arrows could strike any foe across the realms, piercing through any demon or dark entity. However, even these weapons paled in comparison to the legendary bow and arrows of conquest. The battle formations were set. Then, Michael arrived. Before the gathered multitudes of angels, he descended, his radiant form shining so brightly that any mortal who dared gaze upon him would be burned to ash. He was clad in resplendent golden armor, his helmet covering his face like the war helms of ancient Greek and Roman warriors. In his hand, he wielded Solario, the divine spear bestowed upon him by God himself at the moment of his creation, millions of years ago. Michael was the supreme commander of heaven's hosts, once leading even his rebellious brother, Lucifer. The very power that Lucifer wielded, his magic, his strength, had been taught to him by Michael himself. On the battlefield, Michael was a fearless warrior, a masterful strategist, and a legend of celestial warfare. He had once fought in the depths of hell itself. In the ancient war against the 3 demon lords, he alone had cut down 1/3 of hell's legions and had been the one to personally defeat the 3 lords, delivering them to God to be sealed away. Now, raising his divine spear high, Michael pointed it toward the depths of hell and roared, "Attack!" He was the first to charge. Descending like a blazing comet, Michael plunged into the heart of the demonic horde. His radiant aura incinerated any demon that dared to approach. And with that, the celestial army followed, flooding the battlefield like a tidal wave of holy light. The ground trembled violently. From the abyss, millions of demons surged forth, clashing with the celestial host. The great war between heaven and hell had begun. And among them, Abaddon too entered the fray. Yet the angels, locked in battle against the demons, had no knowledge of the true danger unfolding. While war raged across the battlefield, Lucifer had secretly reached the seal of imprisonment, seeking to unleash the 3 demon lords. If they were freed, the balance of existence would be shattered beyond repair. Far away, standing at the center of the galaxy, Death watched in silence, observing the chaos below. But neither angels, demons, mortals, heaven, nor hell understood the far greater threat looming over them, a force from purgatory, a terror beyond reckoning. The prison walls of that forsaken realm were failing, unable to contain the horrors sealed within. And in its depths, something far older, something far worse than all else, was beginning to stir after eons of slumber. Meanwhile, the armies of heaven and hell clashed like 2 swarms of locusts devouring each other. The second great war between angels and demons had begun. The celestial warriors, radiant with the power of light, cut down wave after wave of demons. At first, heaven's forces dominated the battlefield, pushing back the legions of darkness. But then, from the depths of hell, colossal fire dragons emerged. With a single breath, hundreds of angels perished in flames. The celestial host was ordered to ascend and reform their battle lines. Then, Archangel Gabriel descended, his sword blazing with divine light. The dragon reeled, blinded by his radiance, and Gabriel struck a mighty blow to its head. Yet the beast remained unharmed. In a flash, it lunged, snapping its jaws shut around the archangel. The demonic horde erupted in triumphant howls, their morale surging as they pressed the attack against heaven's forces. But then, in a sudden, terrible cry, the dragon convulsed in agony. A deafening roar echoed across the battlefield before its massive body collapsed to the earth, lifeless. From within its smoldering corpse, Gabriel burst forth, unscathed. Still, the battle raged on, with Michael fighting at the forefront, his golden spear cutting through the abyssal tide. Neither side could claim victory, heaven and hell were locked in a stalemate. But Lucifer had already arrived at the seal. No force had stopped him. The prime stone, the last barrier holding back the three demon lords, lay before him. The angelic guardians stationed there had been slaughtered, mere insects before Lucifer's might. Staring into the heart of the seal, he whispered the incantation. "O great lords of the abyss, today I set you free." He reached out and laid his hand upon the stone. Cracks split across its surface. Darkness erupted forth, unraveling the divine bindings. Thunder roared. The sky darkened. Heaven itself trembled. Michael felt it at once. The seal had been broken. Without hesitation, he abandoned the battlefield, racing back to heaven. And then, prime stone shattered. Its fragments dissolved into nothingness. The ancient prison was undone. But what stood before Lucifer was not what he had expected. It was not the three demon lords. Lucifer, for the first time in eons, felt a chill of uncertainty. A single entity emerged from the abyss. As it stepped forward, heaven itself shook. Lucifer's voice wavered. "Who are you?" The figure said nothing at first. It simply gazed at Lucifer, and smiled. Then, at last, it spoke. "I am Diablo. And I am now your master, great Archangel Lucifer. Kneel before me." Raising his gaze to the heavens, Diablo laughed. "And what will you do now, Most High?" Lucifer suppressed his fear, maintaining his composure. "Where are the other two?" he demanded. Diablo smirked. "My brothers? Oh. I devoured them. I took their power for myself. And now, I have never felt stronger." Turning his gaze back to Lucifer, Diablo's expression darkened. A sudden, searing agony racked Lucifer's body. He fell to his knees, clutching his chest in torment. "Why you? What are you doing to me?" Lucifer gasped. "I was the one who freed you." Diablo relented, his laughter echoing. "I could crush you at any moment, Lucifer. You have already been corrupted by my power. Now, submit to me." Heaven trembles. As Lucifer knelt before Diablo, as the fallen archangel bowed to his new master, Michael descended. 6 radiant wings beat against the sky. Spear in hand, feet touching the ground, he stood before Diablo and Lucifer. Michael gritted his teeth, his gaze burning with divine fire. Impossible. Diablo, you could not have escaped Father's seal on your own. Unless. He turned his gaze toward Lucifer. Diablo laughed triumphantly, his voice dripping with mockery. Ha ha ha. You are too late, Michael. I am now free, stronger than ever before. Come, supreme angel of light, let me show you what true darkness is. Lucifer stepped forward, his voice filled with fury. Brother, it is time for heaven to change. You remain blindly loyal to the one who abandoned us. Heaven is falling, and I will be the one to end his reign. Silence, traitor. Michael charged forward, his left hand glowing with a divine radiance, unleashing a massive blast of holy light upon Lucifer and Diablo. Lucifer dodged, vanishing into the shadows, leaving Diablo alone to face his greatest enemy. The battlefield burns. Below, the war between angels and demons raged on. The bodies of warriors of light and darkness piled into mountains. Colossal demons, as vast as mountains themselves, swung their mighty arms, crushing hundreds of angels with a single strike. But the angels did not falter. They were warriors of the light, far mightier than the demonic hordes. Their formations held strong, yet the darkness crept deeper into the realm of heaven. Heaven shakes. Above, amidst the fractured sky, Michael and Diablo clashed. Diablo grabbed Michael by the face and lifted him high into the air. He grinned wickedly. Look at you, the great leader of the angels. How pathetic. You're no match for me anymore. I will crush you right here, Michael. The age of darkness has come. What will your wretched little angels think when they see their mighty commander fall? Suddenly, Michael's entire body shone with a blinding light. Diablo flinched, momentarily stunned, and hurled Michael away. The archangel landed, his spear materializing back into his hand. He swung it fiercely, so powerfully that the very space around them fractured. But Diablo was no longer the same as before. He had devoured his brothers and stolen their power. Michael's attack barely left a scratch. Diablo roared, flames engulfing his body as he began to transform. Michael leaped forward, aiming his spear straight for Diablo's head. But Diablo caught it. With a sinister grin, he snapped the holy spear in half. Michael was thrown back violently, the shockwave shaking all of heaven. The golden weapon, the spear forged by God himself, lay shattered. Diablo moved swiftly, plunging his hand straight through Michael's chest. The archangel gasped, golden blood spilling onto the battlefield below. He collapsed to his knees. Diablo strode forward, stomping his foot upon the ground. The very foundations of heaven cracked beneath his might. The gates of heaven, the great, eternal gates that had stood since the beginning of time, crumbled. Michael lay beneath the ruins. Diablo smirked. I told you, Michael. I have surpassed you. And now, the legend of the great archangel Michael ends. As the gates of heaven fell, the battlefield went silent. The angels turned in horror. The demons erupted into cheers. Through the wreckage of the golden gates, Diablo emerged. Far above the chaos, in the highest reaches of heaven, God watched. And God wept. For his son had fallen. And he could do nothing to stop it. Purgatory, a prison of horrors. Elsewhere, Lucifer and Abaddon had reached purgatory. Neither heaven nor hell, neither the mortal realm nor the void, this was a realm of its own. A separate dimension, created by God and death to imprison something beyond comprehension. And now, its walls were crumbling. Something ancient stirred within. Lucifer stood before the darkened gate, the very air around it suffocating. He cut his own palm, allowing his blood to drip onto the ground. The gate shuddered and opened. A vast abyss stretched endlessly before them. The very air was thick with shadows and terror, far more dreadful than even the depths of hell. Abaddon shuddered. We should not be here. This place, it is not meant for angels or demons. This is a realm of nightmares. Lucifer smirked. The great butcher, afraid? Ha! Do you even know the true nature of purgatory? Abaddon hesitated. I don't need to know. I only know we should leave. This place is cursed. Lucifer chuckled darkly. Listen well, Abaddon. Purgatory is not just a prison for wandering souls. It is a cage. A cage he built, long ago, for something far worse. Abaddon swallowed hard. A cage? For what? For these creatures. Why not just cast them into hell? Lucifer's eyes gleamed. You are only half right. These monsters are nothing. There is something here, something far more terrifying than all the legions of hell combined. At the center of the universe, far beyond time and space, Death watched. He had seen the fall of Michael. He had seen the rise of Diablo. And now, he saw Lucifer and Abaddon step into purgatory. Death remained silent. For he knew. The true nightmare was about to awaken. Thank you for listening. Please hit subscribe to support the dawn of revelation in researching and continuing the story.